Hello there, Brick Fanatics. So a Greek LEGO certified store has accidentally revealed some of the photos for the LEGO Wednesday set a little bit early, which is at least fairly fitting given that today is itself a Wednesday. And it's interesting to look at these sets because there's a strong sense of déjà vu here. So we've got a brick-built Wednesday Addams who's got a very kind of exaggerated mini-doll-esque proportion to her, with the same kind of slender body and then somewhat larger bobblehead than the standard mini-doll, but certainly it feels mini-doll inspired. And it just so happens that this is the same design used for the LEGO Elphaba and Glinda from an upcoming Wicked set. Beyond this though, we're also getting a mini-doll Wednesday Addams in a set which is a dorm room featuring two roommates who have vastly different aesthetic styles, one of which is very colourful and pink accented, and another which is darker, and they are both brilliant for display and for play, meeting a wide number of needs and uses within the LEGO community. The similarities are difficult to ignore between the Wicked and the Wednesday sets, and these are two new mini-doll themes that we are getting in 2024, and here they are hitting a lot of the same beats. And one does have to wonder, especially with these sets which are both aimed at display and play, whether the LEGO group is dramatically trying to shake things up with mini-dolls a little bit. Indeed, I think I've uncovered a conspiracy at the LEGO group, perhaps a secretive organisation lurking in the shadows trying to push their ultimate goal of making mini-dolls really cool. And just to be clear, I'm joking here. This is a big old joke. It's not a very funny joke because it's being told by me, but it is a joke. And I need you to understand that because I don't want anyone in the comments going down and saying that this or the other agenda is being pushed here. All I'm saying is that the LEGO group is attempting to find new ways of selling you plastic. But that being the case, I do think it is interesting to talk about how the mini-doll has evolved, especially very recently, as we have seen an entire refresh for the LEGO Friends theme last year, and now the introduction of LEGO Wicked and LEGO Wednesday back to back, where we've suddenly had an explosion of LEGO sets that are featuring mini-dolls, but aimed not just at that original target audience for LEGO Friends, but for a wider, more diverse collection of LEGO fans, including older LEGO fans. Because at this point, the mini-doll is 12 years old. They debuted all the way back in 2012, which means that if you were 10 years old when the first LEGO Friends sets were released, then you are 22 years old now. If you were 8 years old, then you are 20 years old now. If you were 6 years old, then you are 18. So we are at the point now where adult fans of LEGO include people who grew up with mini-dolls. And that means that there is an opportunity for the LEGO group to sell you more stuff. I had a conversation with someone recently who was talking about the LEGO Wicked sets and was saying, oh, he was so excited when he first heard about them, and then so disappointed when it turned out that they were mini-dolls, because that's just not his thing. And that's fair enough. Like, you don't necessarily have to love everything that the LEGO group is putting out. But I think it is relevant and important why the LEGO group is choosing mini-dolls for Wicked and for Wednesday Addams in particular. And part of the reason is they're trying to build on the success of LEGO Friends. LEGO Friends is one of the LEGO group's bigger themes. At one point, it was within the top 5 LEGO themes, which means that the LEGO group sell a lot of these sets. And any qualms, fears, or concerns around mini-dolls and their design that may have initially lingered within the public consciousness, I think have been more or less swept away by this point by lots and lots of LEGO fans who absolutely adore mini-dolls. And so while they may not necessarily be your thing, and that's fair enough, you gotta hand it to the LEGO group. These things have found an audience and they are very popular among certain segments of the LEGO community. Now, the big challenge for the LEGO group for many years now has been that they have really hit on, let's be fair here, a popular LEGO set design for a mostly female demographic, and they would love to expand that out of just young girls to encapsulate a larger collection of LEGO fans. And one of the things that they attempted to do with this back in the day was LEGO Elves, which is absolutely brilliant. If you are unlucky enough to not have had any of the LEGO Elf sets, that really is a shame because these things were fantastic. You had big old dragons, you had castles, you had magic stuff, you had lots of transparent elements, which is always my favourite. There was so much cool stuff in here, and the theme ran for a few years and was moderately popular, clearly. We also had the DC superhero sets, which featured mini-dolls, and they are also absolutely wonderful. They provided a larger, wider variety of different types of sets for fans of mini-dolls. But for the last few years, it's really only only been Disney Princess sets and Lego Friends sets. And it's clear that the LEGO Group wanted to expand their audience somewhat when they refreshed the Lego Friends theme last year, because for the first time, instead of just mostly featuring female characters as the core group of Lego Friends, they added in additional male characters as well to round things out, broaden things, and allow for a larger collection of different types of people to get on board with these sets. The challenge with the LEGO Friends theme has always been that because the LEGO Group built it so much around trying to appeal to a female demographic that had previously been underserved by the LEGO Group in general, they did such a good job of connecting with that audience that they've had a harder time trying to expand things out further. Now, gender is only one of the issues that the LEGO Group is facing with mini dolls. The other is age, that where you get to a certain point with mini dolls, there's just nothing. Like, beyond the LEGO Friends and beyond the LEGO Disney princess offerings, there's nothing if you get just that little bit older. The LEGO Group did try with an Ice Castle Frozen set for ages 14 plus. It didn't seem to really capture people's imaginations in the way that I imagined the LEGO Group would have wanted. And as such, they've gone back to the drawing board and found some IP partners that they can work with, which are going to appeal to that teenage or young adult demographic. Now, Wicked sets with mini dolls rather than minifigures just make sense, because ever since the 1939 Judy Garland film, The Wizard of Oz in its cinematic incarnations have always been about making something that is more Disney than Disney itself. Like, the goal with the 1939 film was to make a Disney cartoon like Snow White, but with people instead. Indeed, the original designs for the Wicked Witch of the West looked like the Wicked Queen from Snow White instead. I mean, I say always trying to be like Disney. Return to Oz is the exception that proves that rule. Wicked the musical then definitely leans on the 1939 Wizard of Oz aesthetic, but then also just the concept of a Disney musical in general, based on a book, much like, say, The Hunchback of Notre Dame is based on a book that you should not read if you're a child. Wicked, the book, is not something that you should read as a child, and by as a child, I mean, maybe don't read it if you're younger than, like, 45, because it's quite a grown-up book, like, quite a middle-aged book. But anyway, so we've got Wicked, and Wicked is brilliant, and everybody loves Wicked, and Disney looks at Wicked and is like, we should do that, let's do a Wicked. And so they take Idina Menzel and they're like, right, let's do a Wicked, but with the Ice Queen, I guess. And then you get Frozen. And as mentioned, we've had Lego Frozen for quite a while, and it has always been a big hit for the Lego Group. So Lego Wicked, mini dolls, from a financial perspective, that makes a lot of sense. The big difference between Wicked and Wednesday is that where the Wicked film is apparently being aimed at kind of a family-friendly audience, Wednesday is not a show that I would necessarily recommend for kids. I mean, it's not that much more grown-up than the Addams Family films from the 90s, but it also kind of is, because yeah, she does drop a bunch of piranhas into a swimming pool, and it's not subtle about explaining just what parts of the swim team those piranhas preferred. Now, leaving aside issues of demographics or sales figures or anything like that, I have to say Wednesday Addams is the perfect fictional character to be adapted into mini doll form rather than mini figure form. Because if you look at Wednesday Addams from her inception, the whole point of the character, the whole joke has been, here is someone who looks like an adorable little doll, but who is secretly just the weirdest thing imaginable. As much as Jenna Ortega absolutely bossed it in Wednesday, definitely credit to Christina Ricci for absolutely nailing that. And somehow, even to this day, she still looks like just an adorable little doll who's just a little bit sinister. And I do feel like it has to be said that the Wednesday set that we've got here, the dorm room set, is a really neat display piece, which is also going to be absolutely brilliant for play. So even though this set is kind of aiming at an older audience by even being a Wednesday set, it's definitely something that is going to be accessible for a lot of younger fans as well, who just want something that is fun to play with. And indeed, it's going to be great for anybody who's a little bit older who wants to play with their Lego as well. Now, the Wednesday series in the UK has got a 12 age rating. I believe it's a 14 plus age rating in America. But that is, of course, utterly meaningless because it's on Netflix and no one's paying attention to the age ratings on that at all, are they? But definitely this is a LEGO set that is not just for kids, and it is definitely part of the LEGO Group's efforts to make mini dolls feel a little bit more grown up. And as said, as the original fans of mini dolls get that little bit older, the nostalgia cycle to a certain degree is kicking in here, and we are seeing sets that are aimed at recapturing the joy and the innocence of youth, but for somebody who's a little bit older. So if you are a LEGO Star Wars fan, if you are a LEGO Indiana Jones fan, if you are a LEGO Harry Potter fan, and you are a little bit older, and you love picking up these sets because of the nostalgic factor of playing with things that you remember from your childhood, then absolutely bear in mind that people are getting that same kick from the Wednesday sets and from the Wicked sets. Beyond that, I'm kind of hoping that the Wicked and Wednesday brick-built mini doll style designs do well and that we get more characters in this form, because it would be quite nice to have a little collection of those. And I personally prefer them a lot to brickheads. That's just my personal preference. But what do you think of the Wednesday LEGO sets? And what do you think of the LEGO Group's plans to expand and diversify the mini doll offerings in general? Leave us a comment down below letting us know your thoughts. Also make sure that you do all of the regular YouTube things. Give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe and the notification bell. Make sure that you use the QR code if you're going to be buying the LEGO Wednesday sets or the LEGO Wicked sets or any other LEGO sets in the near future. It takes you straight to the LEGO website. It helps us out because we get a little bit of the percentage of your sale, but doesn't cost you anything extra. Make sure that you also go to brickfanatics.com for all of your LEGO news and reviews, and sign up to our newsletter so that you never miss anything LEGO related ever again. Thank you very much for watching.